So this is just a quick walkthrough to show you some of the known issues with the house. It is a lot of handheld camera work, and I do apologize for it. Hopefully you can still enjoy it. We are in the front entranceway. It's the front door. This corner is potentially the worst, and it's to do with water soaking in through. We have some more over here. Some patching needed, some scraping, definitely some scraping. But the floor is beautiful. It's got to get cleaned up. The smallest rug in the world. Yeah, once this gets all cleaned up, once we knock all the loose bits and kind of get it back to a solid base, build it up with maybe some lime plaster. I'm still researching all this stuff. Let that cure or dry or whatever it has to do, and then we'll figure out some kind of breathable paint or something for it. But before we tackle any of this stuff, the number one, stop the water from coming in. We are in the dining room right now, so right outside here is that spiral staircase with the issues, the moisture issues. And you can see it's starting to kind of get a little damaged in here too. That's because of the moisture. So once that corner gets sorted, we'll have a lot of stuff fixed. But yeah, this is the dining room. Look at this fireplace. Look at those tile. And dumbwaiter. Not spooky at all. This goes down to the kitchen. Got to get a chandelier in here. New curtains. Dry it out, paint it, get some heat in the house. New carpet, or at least get rid of this carpet. Original shutters. Which will be handy to cover up those giant single pane windows. But yeah, all this original detail is still in the house. But I'm focusing on the negatives today. I want to show you all the bad stuff. So this is outside the hall, the entrance hall. You can see there's damage to the wall there too. And that would also be like damp coming in. So entrance hall has a fireplace in it too. Little marketplace find. This is the back of the house. That's the courtyard out there. This is the same thing. Same issues with drainage outside. We have damp in the exterior walls. Here is this sitting room off the front of the house. We've got a little bit of rot in the door, the wood door. There's some ivy creeping in. There's some rot on the outside of these frames. That'll have to be addressed. But we've got leaded glass up there, which is lovely. But this is kind of sort of the issue in this room. We have a lot of kind of damp coming through the wall. This stuff all has to be addressed. And what is actually happening here is the damp is actually coming through. So this is overflowing and it's running down the wall instead of running down the downpipe. There it is. All I had to do was wait for the rain. You can see the water overflowing, running down the pipe. So that's creating excess moisture soaking into the wall. And it's soaking into the wall on the outside, so it's soaking out of the wall on the inside. So this needs to be cleared. And the drainage down here needs to be sorted out. Like this is, I don't know if you'd call it a light well or something, but there's retaining walls all the way around it. There's stairs down to it. And the downspouts, the standpipes, you can see this one. You can actually see it's a different color at the bottom because it's overflowing and seeping out of that one. Look at that. It's squirting. The water is just building up down there and not going where it's supposed to go. I gotta get on top of this. So this all has to be cleared. It's just years of dead leaves and branches and sticks and stuff built up in there. It's just some chainsaw snippers, shovel work and stuff like that. And there is a drainage, like tunnel type thing that runs through there. This all has to be cleared, scraped up. When the water comes down from above, it comes out here and like actually runs where it's supposed to. So this is the main issue, one of the main issues with the water seeping in through the walls downstairs. And there's the drainage tunnel, as I'm calling it, and it's just, look, it's just full of water. So that water is going to be soaking into the building. It's not great. Look at this. So that comes off the sitting room and goes down to the garden. And then there's a gate through this big wall, and it goes to the front of the house. So one of the big things we have to do is all the gutters, downspouts, that stuff all has to be addressed. This corner of the house is the biggest culprit of the moisture coming into the house. The gutters up there, they have plants coming out of them. There's a downspout right here that runs along, and it's missing a piece to the end that's supposed to go into that scupper. It's just missing. So then all the water that's caught from the balcony area, it just dumps off into this corner. That downspout, or the gutter up there, is also full. So the water coming off this roof and the roof over there all comes into this corner, and it just pounds the side of the house. And so everything here is dark and just wet. And so you can see down there the color of the bricks. They're saturated. You can see all the greenery in the wall, like in between the stones. You can see how dark the joints are in comparison to these joints. These are kind of a lighter gray. These are a dark gray. So there's a lot of moisture trapped inside this wall. And it's just pounding down on this. Everything is soaked. And that's the same drainage tunnel that I showed you from the other side. That all has to be cleared. But there's the drainage channel right there, and it runs out under the garden. So all of this needs to be cleaned, cleared, and freed up so the water can flow. And if we can get the water flowing, the house can start drying out. This wall in the kitchen, very damp, very wet. It's crusty. There's sediment and stuff coming out of it. The floor in the kitchen, there's moisture coming up out of it. Next to the kitchen is the pantry. That's kind of under this front hallway. The wall of that is also damp. And then under this sitting room area is the office / bedroom downstairs with the bookshelves in it. So that wall is also crusty. Not crusty, but damp. The radiators are on it. One of the radiators hanging off the wall. Somebody dry lined it in the past, and that didn't really work because you're not supposed to try and stop the water from coming into the room. You're supposed to stop the water from trying to come into the house. So let me bring you down to those rooms. Here is the office / bedroom downstairs. So we have moisture issues on that wall. So this would be, we are directly under the sitting room. And there's the stairs off the sitting room out there. So that gutter the downspout I was showing you that's overflowing and running down the wall, that's this wall. Outside this is the drainage tunnel. And so you can see quite a bit of moisture soaking in through. This was dry lined, I think. I mean, I don't know when it was dry lined. But the stone wall is back there to kind of make this room less damp. And it just hasn't really worked. So this will all come off, all this dry lining. Ceiling's coming down a little bit here. This room might get gutted. Like, that's dry line also. That might also come off. So this room might just get gutted back to the stone and start with a clean slate. Here is the pantry, just off the kitchen. You can see, same issue. Same issue coming in here. And here is the kitchen wall. This is where it looks the crustiest. Yeah, so this is damp. The floors are soaking, like leaching water up. It's got sediment building up. Effervescence? Effervescence? I don't know how you say it, but well, yeah, same thing. There is that drainage gully, and that is the spiral staircase right there. So this is the area I was talking outside that's just getting dumped on by water. So this is all coming in because of that. So once we get that stopped, we can get the house to start drying out. And once the house dries out, we can start thinking about decorating it, but we can't decorate anything if the moisture's coming in, so. Some of the issues also with the house, apart from the drainage, is windows. They're rotting. Not all of them. Well, yes, they're all rotting, but some of them are worse than others. That's one of the worst ones. So this will have to be sorted. This whole wooden structure, that's not supposed to be like that. Some of the windows, I'll bring you into this room. Like this window off the courtyard, this one has been retrofitted with double glazing. I like that. But the frames of the windows weren't rebuilt at the time. And so some of those ones that are retrofit, like this one, is also rotting. It's not too bad, but it's spongy. So that one's retrofit, but it's got holes in it. So all of the windows will have to be eventually done. But we'll do the worst ones first, and then we'll move on. Here is one of the back bedrooms, and this one, like the one we were just in, this is double glazed retrofit. But the windows, like I said, are just not great. The wood is, this one's actually, yeah, it's pretty rotten on the outside. But this one's funny. Retrofit with the double glaze, but then it has tape. It goes right outside. It's just a hole there. Don't look. Don't pick at the edges. Leave them alone. When we first got here, this window was the worst. This one. The frame was tweaked. It's still a little crooked, but we got it propped up a little bit better. The frame was tweaked. The glass was slid down a little bit, and there was a gap at the top. So this one we have it just propped up with a better stick. These ones aren't too bad. These ones actually open. And so this room has like moldy, mildewy stuff all over the whole room. It's on the walls. So this will all have to be cleaned and scrubbed. And so I believe what was happening with this room is this window was open. It was open for the last year and a bit, and it slid. And there was excess moisture getting into this room, just not getting out. And I think that's what created all this stuff. So no, that is not a paint texture. Like you can see, how bad that is. But that'll clean up. There's no roof leaks or anything like that, so it's not like there's an active leak and that's creating issues. But look at this fireplace. I know the ladder's in the way, but these details. The little intercom system where you can bzz, 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 come and get me some more turf. There's another room. Look at that. Views of the Ox Mountains here in Sligo. That's down on top of the atrium. We got to change the glass on top of it. It's like plastic, but here's out the front of the house. There's that problem spiral staircase. Another belter of a fireplace. Look at that. Look at the detail. So these will clean up lovely. I know this video was a little bit all over the place, and I do appreciate you sticking around until the end. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend. I will catch you on the next one.